Your car could be spying on you right now. The US government just declared war on Chinese EVs, banning them entirely from American roads. But wait till you hear what China might do in revenge. It could change everything about the cars we drive.
China has become the world's largest auto exporter.
$9,200 equivalent US dollars.
Chinese automakers are going to come here eventually, and they're going to do it regardless of if there's a tariff or not.
Trojan horses for espionage. They call these vehicles. Cars that can be remotely controlled by foreign powers. The tech Cold War has officially reached your driveway. In this video, I'm exposing everything: the spying fears, the economic warfare, why Chinese EVs terrified Detroit, and how this ban affects you. Plus, stay till the end for China's secret plan that could flip the entire auto industry upside down. An internal Commerce Department memo I've obtained reveals just how deep this goes. Chinese EVs are cheaper, they're packed with advanced tech, and they were about to flood the American market. Now they're banned. What's really happening behind the scenes? Powerful interests don't want you to know. America has made an unprecedented move that will change cars forever. The US government announced sweeping rules that ban Chinese-made vehicles and technology from American roads. This isn't just about complete cars, it's about what's inside them. Anything that connects a car to the outside world. Cameras, sensors, GPS units, software. If it's made in China, it's now forbidden. By 2027, no new car in America can contain Chinese software. By 2030, all Chinese hardware must be gone.
Imagine a world in which there are, for example, millions of cars, Chinese cars on US roads, collecting this data every minute of every day on millions of Americans and sending that back to Beijing. That's a scary place to be.
Stop and consider what she's really saying. Every word you speak in your car, every place you visit, all potentially monitored by a foreign government. Let that sink in. The official explanation is national security. Modern cars are rolling surveillance platforms. They track where you go, what you say, even what you do inside your vehicle. A Chinese-made car driving near military bases could record everything, sending data straight to Beijing. This isn't theoretical. China already banned Teslas from sensitive areas for the exact same reason. They fear Elon Musk's cars might be American spy vehicles.
These vehicles collect terabytes of data about our infrastructure, our movements, even our conversations. In the wrong hands, this becomes a national security nightmare.
But the government's biggest fear, remote control. If an adversary can access vehicles remotely, they could do more than just listen. In an extreme situation, warned Raimondo, a foreign adversary could shut down or take control of all their vehicles operating in the United States at the same time, causing crashes and blocking roads. For a moment, imagine that scenario. Every connected vehicle in America suddenly out of its driver's control. Highways turn to chaos, all from a command center thousands of miles away. I've seen classified assessments from 2023 that outline exactly how this attack could unfold. Our vulnerabilities run much deeper than most realize. But there's another side to this story the government doesn't emphasize. Chinese electric vehicles have been taking over markets globally. They're often half the price of American alternatives, with better technology. BYD, a company most Americans have never heard of, has already overtaken Tesla in global sales. Some Chinese models sell for as little as $10,000, dramatically undercutting Western competitors.
These Chinese companies are backed by their government. If they flood our market with 15,000 EVs, that's it for us. Game over.
Industry insiders described a potential flood of cheap Chinese EVs as an extinction-level event for American automakers. That's not hyperbole. President Biden's own words tell the real story. We're going to make sure the future of the auto industry is made here in America with American workers. Sit with that statement for a moment. This isn't about protecting you from surveillance. It's about protecting an industry that employs millions of Americans. A Treasury Department source told me their economic assessment showed American auto manufacturers could lose up to 30% market share within 5 years if Chinese EVs entered unimpeded. You won't find that report published anywhere. This car ban is part of something much bigger. We are witnessing a tech Cold War between the world's two superpowers. First, it was Huawei banned from telecom networks. Then Chinese apps like TikTok came under fire. Next came export controls blocking advanced chips to China. Now it's cars.
This isn't random. There's a systematic effort to prevent Chinese technological dominance in key sectors. Vehicles represent mobile infrastructure and data collection platforms. They're the next battlefield.
Cars aren't just transportation anymore. They're data centers on wheels, AI platforms, and critical infrastructure. China has made dominating the EV sector a national priority, pouring billions into battery supply chains. The US, having already lost solar panel manufacturing to China, is determined not to lose another key industry. There are nights I sit and wonder what this means for our future. Two technological superpowers gradually severing their connections, a digital Berlin Wall rising between East and West. So what happens now? For Chinese automakers, America, the world's second largest car market, is suddenly off limits. But they're not giving up. They're doubling down in Europe, Asia, and developing markets. American companies get a reprieve from competition at home, but face major supply chain disruptions. Many rely on Chinese parts that will now need replacement at higher costs.
I'm all for national security, but who's going to pay for these higher costs? It's always us, the consumers. My next EV will probably cost thousands more because of this ban.
Tesla is in a particularly dangerous position, protected at home, but extremely vulnerable in China, where it has a massive factory and sells thousands of cars. If China retaliates, Tesla could be first in the firing line. Take a moment to consider the scale of what's happening. The global auto industry is being forcibly split apart, component by component, two incompatible ecosystems forming before our eyes. A senior executive at a global auto supplier told me last week, "We're already designing completely different systems for the Chinese market versus the Western market. 5 years from now, these will be entirely different cars that can't even communicate with each other." As this ban takes effect, several possibilities emerge. The rules could fully separate US and Chinese auto technology, creating a digital iron curtain for vehicles. You'll mainly notice the higher price tag. China could strike back hard, restricting American companies or cutting off critical raw materials for batteries. They control over 70% of the world's lithium processing, the lifeblood of electric vehicles.
We strongly oppose these discriminatory practices disguised as national security concerns. China reserves the right to take all necessary countermeasures.
Those words should send a chill down the spine of every auto executive in Detroit and Silicon Valley. When China says necessary countermeasures, they mean economic pain. But here's what the mainstream media isn't telling you. Chinese companies are exploring creative workarounds, building factories on American soil, creating subsidiaries that appear independent. I've seen internal strategy documents from two major Chinese automakers outlining exactly how they plan to circumvent these bans. We'll cover those in a future video. The US-China EV ban isn't just about cars, it's about who controls the future, who controls your data, who controls the technology that will define the next century. Sometimes at night, I wonder if we're witnessing the beginning of a new world order, one where technology doesn't bring us together, but drives us apart into competing spheres of influence.
What I'm about to tell you isn't public knowledge yet. China's new battery tech is revolutionary. We're talking double the range, 40% cheaper. They've solved problems we're still working on.
But here's the bombshell I promised. China is now fast-tracking a revolutionary battery technology that would make their EVs 40% cheaper and double the range. A solid-state battery breakthrough kept under wraps. If successful, they'll dominate every market except America, potentially leaving US manufacturers years behind. This isn't just a ban, it's the opening move in a high-stakes game for technological supremacy, and ordinary consumers are caught in the middle. What do you think is really behind this ban? Security concerns or economic protection? Let me know in the comments. If you want more uncensored analysis on the technology wars reshaping our world, hit that subscribe button. Next week, I'll be revealing the classified document that shows how deep this conspiracy really goes. The truth is out there, and we're bringing it to you.